everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another layout using the February Scraptastic kit, and this layout is the 24th kit or 24th page using this kit, and it took me an hour and 2 minutes to complete. And I'm going to show you I'm going to use this page that had the black chevrons on the background and all these speech bubbles on the backside, and it was an October afternoon daily flash page, and I think it was a snapshot collection maybe, and I really loved it, but I found it was super busy. And then with putting your photos on the layout, then you would lose a lot of those speech bubbles. So what I decided to do was I at first was just going to use a few of the speech bubbles and put them around the page, and I end up cutting the whole sheet of pattern paper, just every speech bubble, and I end up using it on a white cardstock, and I really love it. And then I had a leftover pattern paper, and the back side was those multicolored chevron, and the other side was this sort of grid pattern paper. And at this point I didn't even know what photo I was going to use. I just wanted to get the most scraps used as possible. I had this photo that I had pulled out from 2006, and it was while we were in Boston. My son was playing in the pool, and of course it's summer, and it was windy, and there was leaves that were flying everywhere, and there was a little bit of leaves in the pool. And he did it, probably because it was more of a game for him. But he went around the pool and he picked up all the leaves and he put them neatly all in a pile. And then he got out and picked up the pile of leaves, and he threw them out in a garbage can that was close nearby. Well, the lady that was the lifeguard that day thought that was great because he saved her, a bunch of work. So she gave him a little kind of certificate that said, "I caught you doing something great." And at the top it says, "Josh, thank you for picking the leaves out of the pool." And he was so proud of that. Like, he had no idea that they did that. He just, was wanted to do it, and he did it, and then he was really pleased with that he got that. So I was we had brought the dogs with us, and of course dogs aren't allowed at the pool, so I was kind of stuck at the tent trailer. So he came back and he showed me that. So I got him to go outside, and we took a whole bunch of pictures of him holding that little certificate. So I mounted the photo on some navy cardstock, and then I mounted it on that pattern paper, and I kind of put the photo on the right side because I want to leave, because it's such a busy background, I had to make a little mat where I would put my title. Now, I got this stamp set from DIY just in my last haul, and I want to make sure that I use the stuff that I get right away also. I love getting new stuff in, but I always make sure that I grab a few things from the new order and I leave it out, and it cannot be put away until I've used it a few times on the layout. So this stamp set there is called Design It Yourself, and it's from Simple Stories. And the item is 5147, I believe, and it's the journaling stamp. And I absolutely love it. It had little sayings that says picture perfect, snapshot, good stuff. So I'm going to put it throughout the layout. Plus, there was a little star in there that reminds me of that Studio Calico star. And I'm going to stamp that a few times in navy and also in butterbar. So I'm going to use quite a few stamp sets out of this set. And then I'm going to do 3 in blue, and I kind of made sure they were in a triangle pattern, I guess. And then I took 3 blue jean sequins, and that again was from a recent haul. I think the same haul as the stamp set, so I want to make sure to use those. Then I got some bumblebee doodlebug sequins, and I'm going to put 3 of those on the layout. So there's, in each of those, like it says blue jean, but there is quite a different shades of blue in that same container, and the same with the yellow. There's quite a few shades of yellow, so it's awesome. Now I'm showing you, there was a blue star here, there, and there. Now I'm going to do a yellow here, and then I pointed, and I'm going to go across and then down. So then I kind of separated the yellow stars, the blue sequins, and the yellow sequins. And I have way more than 3 embellishment clusters. But those speech bubbles, there are so many little speech bubbles that it's kind of hard to make clusters. And so I'm just kind of putting a little bit of stuff here and there. And at first I think I'm going to use those chevron arrows, and that's the back side of that blue pattern paper. I just cut some down, and I want it to point towards the photo, but I'm going to use it in a different way. And I'm going to just put them near speech bubbles. And I've taken the photo and everything, and now I think I'm going to put some blue threads in my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew right down the 3 arrows right down the middle. So even though like the page is all done and the voiceover is going to be done, just know that where the arrows are going to end up, I'm going to end up sewing right down the middle with some blue thread, just because I wanted it to have a little bit more definition. So now I'm going to take my quick dry adhesive, and I'm going to glue down all the sequins. And I want to use one of that little globe too that came in the Scraptastic kit. And my glue was clogged, so and then when I unclogged it, it just kind of made a big mess. So I just picked it up with my finger, and then I'm just putting the sequins to my finger and getting a little bit of glue, and then putting it down. And then I'm just gonna put the rest on a paper towel, not a paper towel, but a wet one. And now I took out some of those stamps that came in the DIY stamp set, and I'm going to stamp them all in blue. One says snapshot, the other one says good stuff, and then the other one is going to say captured. And I can see using this stamp set over and over and over again. Like, it's just got so many things on here that I absolutely love. Oh, and another thing I'm going to take out is the heart that is kind of open. I'm going to take that out too. Now I really like that little globe, but I find I'm going to change the color of it just because there was nothing else that was kind of wood veneer. So I'm going to first color it with some Hero Arts white, and then I'm going to dry it, and then I'm going to take some Hero Arts ink, blue ink, navy blue ink. I'm going to color over that. And then I'm going to take some basically glossy accent, but it's liquid glass from Close to My Heart, and I'm going to cover it up. I thought maybe of using some of those wood veneer hearts, because again, it was kind of bothering me that the only wood veneer was that little globe with the heart, but they were just too big. I had already used all the little ones, I believe. So now I mounted that heart, and I'm going to stamp it in 3 spots. And I'm looking to see if there's any other stamps that, I might want to use, and I decide against it. But I'm going to put all the stamps away because I'm afraid to lose them. Because right on my desk, it's fairly neat right there, but anything beyond what the camera can see is, when I do a layout, is a complete disaster. So I'm afraid it's going to get lost in all the mess. So I'm going to take out again those daily flash letters from October Afternoon. I'm going to spell out the word boy. And then with the font that came that is on the back side of that, and it's a square font, I'm going to spell out good. And at first, that's all I think I'm going to do is spell out good boy. But then I found the top of that was kind of empty. So then when I walk away and then when I come back, I'm going to take some yellow fonts and I'm going to spell what and then with the blue alphas again. So what a good boy. And this is where I decide to glue those chevron cutouts. And I'm getting them to all kind of point in at the photo. And I'm doing 2 voiceover right back to back. And then I'm going to be starting layout 26. I have a bit of pattern paper left, and every time I think, oh, I should just put it away and, start the new one, I just keep thinking, if I put it away, that's it. Like I basically don't touch that pattern paper again. And I still like that pattern paper, and I find when I force myself to come up with something, that I come up with combinations that I really like. So I'm not ready to give up on that kit. I haven't even received my April kit yet, and the last time I checked, it just got to custom, and last time it stayed there 5 days. So I'm sure I won't be getting those for a bit. So the little heart was kind of embossed or debossed. It's kind of caved in. So I wanted it to stand out. So I didn't want it to be blue, but I made the mistake of coloring it in blue. So then I used the Hero Arts dauber in white, and then I colored it in white. And because I had already put some liquid glass on it, it wasn't sticking to the blue. And then I put a few layers of it, and then I'm going to use my Copic marker and color it in yellow. You still couldn't see it very much, so then I'm going to go get my smooch ink and in gold, and I'm going to put a couple of layers of that, and it shows up a little bit more. I could probably put a few more layers on it and it wouldn't hurt it, but it's a little bit more yellow than it was. So this is the smooch ink, and I put a layer of that, or a couple layers of that. And I took out 3 different washi tape, a yellow, a chevron blue, and then sort of, it was in my mind's eye. It kind of has a distressed look to it. It has blue, yellow, and an aqua on it. So perfect colors for this layout. I'm going to punch out quite a few butterflies, and the ones that I don't use, I'll just have them aside for the next layout. So that's okay. And I'm going to scatter them about on the layout. And the bigger butterflies, I'm going to put some Stampin' Dimensionals in behind the wings. And the ones that are smaller, I'm just going to use some quick dry adhesive and add them to the layout. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my Distress marker in navy, and I'm just going to do the trail of the butterfly with the marker. And the bigger butterflies, I'm going to do the trail with the twine like I usually do. I just want to do something a little different. So when I used to toe paint, I used to do a lot of times, outlining around my toe painting and different pieces of the clothing. I would stitch around it. And also I would do trails like that if it had any kind of flight things like butterflies or birds or dragonflies or anything like that. So I just wanted to do that again, but this time on a layout. I haven't toe painted in ever since I started scrapbooking. Toe painting kind of went because I found once you had X amount on your walls, it's like, okay, no more room. But with scrapbooking, it's a page and it goes in an album, and it's so much more meaningful too because it's stories about your family. And now I cut 3 pieces of twine, and I'm going to use my this to that dot adhesive, and I'm going to add adhesive to it, and then I'm going to add it to the page. And I kind of cleaned up a little bit. And quite a few years ago, about 10 years ago, I was asked by a local school, to go talk about scrapbooking because they were having like career day, and it wasn't even my kids' school. It was one of their like the principal, the vice principal had come to like a craft day that I had done, and he had seen me there, and he said, "Oh, we're having a career day, and you know, to talk about hobbies and career." And he said, "Could you come and talk about, have a table set up for the kids for that?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I went, and how I explained it to kids, because they were, it was a grade kindergarten to grade 6, I believe. So they were quite young. So I told them, I said, you know how you learn about history? Well, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing the history of my family, so that later on they can kind of go back and learn about things that they had forgotten. So that's the way I look at it. I'm doing the history books for my kids to kind of remember bits and pieces that might not really stand out in their mind as, wow, that was a big deal, but just kind of everyday stuff. So that's it. The page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.